Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
All right, welcome back. Episode 55 of Boston's Big Podcast. Episode Willie McGinnis. And featuring, it's got to be Willie McGinnis. Featuring a very special guest. We got Flawless Real Talk in the building. Straight out of Providence, Rhode Island. One of the great rappers out of New England. Easty and I have been listening to him since high school, 2010, I think.
That's dope.
So definitely big to have you on here.
I appreciate it, man.
He's, for those of you who don't know, he's been on Sway, BET Cypher, Sirius XM. Most recently, he was on the Netflix series Rhythm and Flow, hosted by Cardi B, Chance the Rapper, T.I. So doing a lot of big things, and we're definitely happy to have you on, man. Welcome aboard.
Thank you guys so much, man. The support is most appreciated. You know, I always recognize that you guys have been showing consistent love over the past few years. So thank you so much for always sharing me and, you know what I mean, highlighting my talent, man. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta highlight the real.
I first noticed, like, your name's like Boston Big Four, and I was like, damn, I'm not even, like, really from Boston, but they rep me.
We cover the whole New England scene.
Yeah.
And you're definitely one of the dopest in New England. So
thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. For sure.
So how you been holding up with this quarantine and everything?
I mean, when it comes to creatives, I don't know if anything really changed.
Okay.
You know, I spend a lot of my time quarantined away when I'm creating. So the biggest change is having the family home all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because being an independent artist and balancing family and work, I basically built my studio and my office to be within my home. So that way I can navigate within the two. And that's not really working out for me, you know, these days. You know what I mean? Because everybody's home. But it hasn't really been much of a change. Just like I said, other than the family being home, I don't have as much flexibility as I would have if they were busy with their own shit going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
As far as like the touring, how does it affect? I mean, obviously you can't tour right now, and that's a big part of what you do. So
absolutely.
How's that been?
It's been very disappointing. You know what I mean? Especially with coming off of the show, we've been anticipating much larger crowds. You know?
Absolutely.
So we went to Phoenix right before this thing kind of kicked off. We was in Phoenix, and it was an amazing show, and it kind of like just got me ready for the run, and I was really anticipating it. So it's disappointing, but you know, I feel like this is gonna be a time where everybody's gonna be trapped in the house and then let loose for the summer. Yeah. And it's gonna be a crazy summer because everybody's gonna do stuff. You know, there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's gonna be something. So I think this little hibernation period for everybody might work well for us in the coming months when it's time to put out some shows and everybody wants to come out.
Right. And everybody's in it together too. So you know, it's not like it's just affecting one person. So
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And you know, when things like this happen that are like bigger than music, you know, I didn't think about it like, oh man, my tour is canceled.
Right.
Oh shit.
You're like, we
might want to postpone these shows because of safety, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. How you guys holding up? Like, what have you guys been up to?
Working. I'm at a grocery store, so I'm an essential worker. Dave's an essential worker too, I guess. So.
How do you feel when you're working at the grocery store and there's a lot of people there? Like, how do you get through your day with the anxiety? Because I know I would have anxiety I have anxiety going to the market.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes.
I mean, I'm washing my hands. I'm washing my hands every 20 minutes. Like, I'm taking all the precautions. So, you know, it's
It's got.
It's definitely nerve-wracking though when you're surrounded by people all the time. But no, I'm doing good.
They haven't implemented like a certain limit of people that can be in the market.
Yeah, there's only 50 people allowed in the store at a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just noticed that around me, the supermarket, they were making people wait, and the line seemed pretty long. But I guess it moves.
And we put up one-way signs in the aisles too, because it's getting so crowded.
Yeah. I caught myself going the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't know how the one-way sign's gonna work though, because when you're in the supermarket, right? I'm used to going like up and down the aisle.
Right.
Exactly.
So
No, I've already seen.
go down, go all the way back around.
I've already seen so many people going the wrong way. Like it's not working at all. So.
I just walked right through.
I'm definitely
right.
one of those people going
I would
the
be
wrong
too.
way.
I would be too.
Every other aisle, I'm going the wrong way for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
I do this like, all right, I'm out. Peace. You know what I mean? That's it.
But yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, I'm not at the supermarket working. I'm out on the road. I'm going into people's houses and apartments and everything and hospitals and shit. And that's crazy. I mean, all the different.
Yeah.
I was telling these guys last week, like it's some places are like they'll ask you a million questions. Other places just say, come in, get the job done, and get out. And like, yeah, so it's like it's kind of more on the customer what they want to do. But like my first job today, I had mask, gloves on. I mean, I wear gloves anyways, just because I don't work with the greatest stuff. I clean drains.
Okay.
So it ain't nothing. Ain't nothing to be pretty
It's
about.
a shitty situation sometimes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
I always got the gloves on, but the mask, I don't know, it's a whole new, not a new ball game, obviously, but it's just different.
It's hard to breathe, I think.
Yeah.
Those.
It's crazy
yeah.
though. We're at the point now where it's like everyone's wearing one. You're weird if you
I
don't have
definitely
one
don't
on.
have like the right mask.
Yeah.
Definitely have, like a painter's mask on.
I don't think we're supposed to. The right mask should be at hospitals anyways, probably.
Yeah.
True.
I'm like wearing my mask. I'm like, I know this shit ain't working, but it's all right. It makes me feel a whole lot better. So it's like, whatever.
Right.
Exactly. And then like you go outside and everyone else is wearing the mask. You don't got the mask on. You're like, everyone's staring at me type thing.
You know, it's funny because when I went to Phoenix, I wore a mask to the airport and everybody was looking at me like I was crazy.
Right. Now you're crazy if you don't have one.
Don't have a mask.
Right.
Or like, what are you fucking crazy?
Right.
Like, it's like, oh, all right. Now things have changed.
Yeah. No, it's crazy how much has changed in the last month. It's nuts. We're in a different world. We're in a different world now than we were a month ago. But
a lot of companies have been reaching out to me for virtual concerts.
Yeah.
And I'm really open to it. Like I'm with the live. I've seen a few artists do live stream concerts. Obviously, some were better than others depending on the setup and like what you have for sound. I've dabbled a little bit with my setup to see if I could try to create that type of atmosphere. It hasn't really worked out great. So like with the virtual concerts, it's more like, is that going to become the thing? Because who's to say like they let us out and then, there's another outbreak or, they say it's not ever safe to get, within so many people for the next year or whatever, what's going to happen to the experience? You know what I mean? So I think they're trying to change the way, but I don't want to fully convert there yet because I don't want to contribute to that change. Like I want to still go and see the people.
Exactly.
So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens,
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Well, it's got for like your performances too, because like, and I mean, I've seen it down in Providence. I mean, I've seen videos of you with Tech and everyone else. I mean, your shows are like tear the house down. Like we're gonna get this place jumping, and that
it'd be tough to do that without a crowd. Yeah.
To translate that, like
right.
I mean,
energy is definitely the energy is felt when we put on shows. I think a lot of the energy is projected from the performance. So I don't know if virtually that's still gonna have the same effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not gonna feel those same vibes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man.
Speaking of performance, so
I was about to say those exact same words.
So on the Netflix on Rhythm and Flow show, to be honest, I'll be dead honest with you. You can ask my fiance; she knows. I stopped watching it because I can't stand Cardi B's voice. No offense to her, I just couldn't keep listening to it. She's yelling at me right now.
Shout out to Cardi B.
But
Cardi is great in the way of the transparency that she has, and an interesting stat is like let's just put it like this, right? She's one of the most blocked artists on Spotify, and she's one of the most streamed artists on Spotify. So it's like crazy to think about. If 50% of the people don't like her, then imagine how many people do like her in a sense to where like even if you're disliked by half of the, you know what I mean, of the world, if you're loved enough, you can still be on top. And that's what I kind of saw in her transparency, and like, because I'm always like, I'm real political. Like I don't get into certain topics because I don't want to like divide my fans and shit. She's fearless in everything she says. And does. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like,
her tweets are crazy sometimes.
Yeah, when you have that, I guess when you have those numbers, you can just, there's sometimes fans comment, bro. I be wanting to say some stuff, and I know it's not gonna be well, but sometimes I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro.
Right.
I just want to say, shut the fuck up, but I gotta be, I gotta keep it professional. So but it's just, it's the transparency is what I like most about her, because she has more balls than I do, to be honest, when she does some of the stuff.
Like, no, I mean, I got, like, I respect her. It was more just listening to her talk, like the voice itself. But, but like, so what I was bringing up about the performance, I think that was that was one of the first shows where you guys did the performance, or you came out. It was
which performance?
It was before you battled Beans. It was right when the show started.
Yeah, the audition.
Yeah, and like, and not because I'm not trying to sound biased, but I was like everyone else. I was like, what? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm sounding wicked biased, but like I was like, how? Like, I don't know. You just took away like all the competition was like you set the bar.
Sure,
yeah, you set the bar, and then like I mean, like I said, I didn't end up watching through to the end. I was following you. I was following your updates as everything was coming out, but I was more just. I was only listening for you, really.
Yeah.
I was
like, the Beans battle, though, like you had just mentioned in the beginning.
Oh boy,
that was to be honest, hour. That was my introduction to you, and I was just I was blown away. I felt like I felt bad for her. I am new, honestly. Fair warning. So I actually did have some questions just on the side of that. So obviously, props to that particular battle. That was mind blowing. But so you mentioned that you're doing the at home setup, and you've been trying to make that work. Not necessarily like for a live situation, but do you produce in any way at all, or is it are you just strictly vocal guy? Or
no, I engineer and mix and master all of my own music. I do everything in the studio. I do produce. Gotcha. I'm not as sharp as I would like to be right now to be producing all of my own music. So I do outsource producers, but I do have a machine studio here, and I do produce and dabble with that a little bit. I would like to get better on that. And that's probably the only thing that I need to improve on. But as far as like the studio work, I do everything in-house myself. So I don't require an engineer or anybody in the studio. I'm just in here by myself. I get it all done, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
So have you found that collaboration's been good in times like this? Like, have people been willing to, file share and stuff like that? And try to get work going?
Yeah, it's actually been a lot better. This has been a great blessing in the world of my world for the artist that is trying to track down a few features of the relationships that we built. When everybody shut down, I was like, hey, listen, you ain't going nowhere. You got to get this done for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that's kind of how we're looking at the podcast right now.
Yeah, there you go.
We're like, you don't have to go anywhere. We'll do it online. Like, it's nice and easy.
On Zoom. I'm like, let's get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So, the rhythm and flow thing. How did obviously you've been making music for a long time, and that kind of put you on a platform that you hadn't been on before.
Yeah.
How did that come about? You obviously tried out and they were accepted. Like, how did you end up on the show?
Well, actually, I was probably one of the first to audition for the show.
Okay.
When I went to the BET Cypher, I thought I was doing the BET Cypher. They actually had invited me out there to do the digital Cypher.
Okay.
And at first I was a little upset that my manager had told me that it was the BET Cypher, because it wasn't. It was a digital Cypher, and that's not really like a TV Cypher. That it doesn't air on the awards. It's kind of like for the website, which is cool, but it wasn't really the look that I was looking for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had a moment of clarity where I kind of told myself, you know what? we're in the building. You know, we're being a little bit ungrateful here because the same people that are producing this digital cipher have to produce the TV cipher. Right. So just go in there, do what you do, and they're going to know what's up. And next year, they're going to put you on a TV cipher. So I changed my attitude about it. You know, I get a little more enthusiastic. I focus on my bars. I go out there. We do 2 takes of the digital cipher. They pull me aside, and they're like, yo, we're going to put you on a TV cipher like ASAP right now. So they're like, these crazy bars, you know, your performance is outshining everybody. We're going to move you up. So I'm like, word. So they shoot the digital cipher. After they shoot the digital cipher, the room changes. You know, different people start walking in the room that I'm familiar with within the industry. So I'm like, okay, I'm in the room now. I'm in the real room.
Hell yeah.
So they put me in the cipher with Casanova 2 times, Fora, Reason from TDE, and Sean Smith from Rock Nation. So I'm like, word, boom. I kick it off. I'm smashing it. You know what I mean? We going in there, we kill it. Everybody's nervous everybody in the building is nervous. I don't give a shit. I love everybody, much love, but they was scared, right? So
hell yeah.
We in there setting the bar, man, and the Netflix people were actually at the cipher. Okay. So when we finished filming, they was like, "Hey, man, are you signed? You know, you have a label situation." I thought there was a label, and I was just like, "No, you know, I'm independent. I'm staying independent. I'm not really looking for a situation." And they was like, "Perfect. You know, we've got a show we want you to audition for." We didn't even at that point. There was no like Cardi B. There was no Chance. There was no T.I. It was just like we're doing a hip hop competition show on a streaming platform. So when I heard streaming platform, I was like, yo, right now with what's going on with the Netflix wave and with the Hulu and all these platforms, it's the content stays on these sites. You know what I mean? It's not like TV where like the cipher aired and then it was gone. You know. So I was like, I'm with it. You know. So I did a few preliminary auditions for some producers, and then like after like my second audition in New York, they was like, okay, we're gonna have you audition for Cardi B. So I was like, okay, this is about to be something because she was at that moment, she still is one of the biggest, but at that moment, she was on fire. So I'm like, yo, regardless of what this is, the eyes is gonna be there because if she's on this, it's over. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
So I had to audition for her. Now imagine, you know, me being a lyricist dude and the type of girl she is. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna impress Cardi B? Right. Like, how am I gonna impress Cardi? Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this. Like, I'm not a ratchet kind of guy. You know what I mean? Right. I don't say outrageous shit.
You don't even swear in your music, right?
Yeah, I'm not even cursing in my music. Right. So I'm like, so I had gone over there. They told us to bring a song and an acapella. I had brought one of my records called Dope and an acapella that I usually do at my live shows. So they hit me back. They're like, hey, when you come in audition for Cardi, we want you to do the same thing you did for the producers, but you're going to put your song on one of these beats. So I'm like, that's not going to work. First of all, my song that I did for the audition is not going to work on a random beat. Like, it's just not, it's not going to work. So he's like, well, that's why we had you do an acapella. So put the acapella on one of those beats, make it work. Have a good day. I'll see you Thursday. I'm like, fuck. Wow. So I'm going through the beats, and they just sound ridiculous to me. And I'm just like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't even know. So I find this one beat that's like kind of like it's a little dark, but it allows me to at least do my flow on it, what I did at the audition. Yeah. Yep. And I'm in New York ready to audition. People are practicing. It's like 100 artists in the back, and they all practicing their rounds. Now, mind you, some people's practicing out loud. Yeah. And they records sound crazy. Like, I'm like, was that beat in my folder? Because that sounds dope. Like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't hear that beat the same, but I don't know. So I'm getting nervous because everybody's turn. Like, they all got records that are like up tempo, and I'm coming over here with this life shit. I'm like, I don't know if this is even gonna work. Right. This could go really bad. So I'm like, well, let's just see what happens. Fuck it. We're gonna try it out. Yeah. So some people start going up. And the same people that I'm like, oh, they're definitely getting through, they coming back crying, talking about Cardi said this, Fat Joe said this. I'm like, wow. Oh, this is about to go bad. I'm like, wow. For a second, I thought about whether I should audition. Like, should I go out there and give them this footage? Right. Like, I don't know if this is just like, I don't know.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it, just do it. Like, and if you watch the audition, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I don't even know how it ended up being a turned up audition because the record is not for that. But they was feeling, I guess, what I was saying. So, like, once I dropped the first 4 bars and they all went like, oh, and they started being like high energy, I was like, oh, this is gonna fucking work.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit. So I'm rapping in my head. I'm like, this is really working. I cannot believe this. Like, and then Cardi, I think she was going through her little riff with Offset at the time.
Okay.
And I had some bars in there about like relationships and shit, like some real shit. Like I had to lose my mind and hear my heart speak, like just a lot of different shit like that. And when I was saying those bars, I could see her like reacting to it because she was in her feelings that day.
Right.
Yep.
So I knew it was going to work.
Struck a
like,
nerve, yeah.
Yeah, struck a nerve. So when she was like, yo, I can't even talk right now, it was because she was relating to the things I was saying.
Yeah.
So it was amazing, man, just to experience that and have the guts to say, even when it kind of like, I felt like God was giving me signs like, yo, don't go out there and let them humiliate you. You already built your own career. You have your fan base. You have your foundation. Don't go out there and just to be on this show and give them a look that's going to embarrass your brand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I felt like I was getting those little signs from God. I'm like, and I just went up against it. And I'm glad I did, man, because it ended up being an incredible experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know everyone in New England, hip hop fans in New England, we were all watching you, because it was like you were kind of representing the region for us on that show.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty dope to see you doing those things, especially since we've been listening to you for so long. How did it feel when Chance the Rapper compared you to Drake?
A lot of people ask me that. Like, I think when they saw the show and they was like, what do you think about him? I think it's a great comparison. Not in the artist.
That's what that's what I'm getting at. Like
success. You know what I mean? I feel like they compare me like to Drake, and that doesn't make me feel like, oh, how does he think I sound like Drake? Or like, how do they think I sound like Eminem? Like, how do I remind them of Eminem? Like, Eminem doesn't do this. Like, at first I used to think like that. And then I was like, you know what? They're not saying that.
Right.
They're talking about the caliber.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when he said Flawless reminds me of Drake, I think it's because he saw so many different layers of me throughout the season. And even behind the scenes, too, there's a lot of stuff that the show didn't show, personality-wise, that he picked up on. And I know that he was just like, this kid is really multifaceted. You know what I mean? Like a Drake. He's really like a unicorn. He could do a lot of different things. So I was happy with that comparison. I felt like it was like just like a salute that I could definitely be one of the top guys.
Yeah, it's a huge compliment. And it took me a second too when I heard him say it. I was like, because I was comparing your music, I was like, his music's not exactly like Drake, but then I was like, he's talking about, his persona and his like, his confidence, his whatever, his
versatility.
Versatility. There's definitely some comparisons to be made there, but that must have been pretty dope hearing that from someone like Chance, obviously.
No, definitely, man. And he's been a great advocate for the independent artists. So absolutely. When we finally got to talk and he got to see the infrastructure of what I've done, I think he grew a certain even more respect for what we have going on, and it was dope to see that, to be able to kind of chop it up with him, show him everything I've done, and then him be like, damn, like, that's what's up. You really doing this like independent too. You know what I mean? It was kind of like we could relate in that sense.
Right.
And you really have like grown it. And I mean, it's kind of like Jay-Z says, like, you're not a businessman. You're a business. You are a business. Yeah. Your face is a logo. Technically, if you want to look at it like that, your face pops up on Facebook, people are gonna know what that is, and it speaks to your work ethic. How, I met you way back, and to come from those days where it was everyone upstairs. It's not Simon's. What was it? It used to be Jerky's, but like we were all upstairs there, and here you are, and you're just like, you did the team backpack stuff.
Were you guys on the same team backpack?
He was there. He judged me. You judged me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, all right. That's all right.
That's why I remember
Interesting
him from,
full
from
circle.
word.
Mission Undergrounds. I remember him from
Damn.
Team Backpack. That's why I saw him, and when he popped up on the video chat, I'm like, oh shit! Like I automatically remember.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And that was years ago too. So you know what I mean. That goes to show. You know, you definitely stood out.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you. I was gonna say you were probably one of the only ones that bigged me up there. I mean, I got a lot of big ups, but not from the judges.
Man.
You
know,
did.
a lot of people aren't secure enough to show enough love to somebody else, bro. It was a competition. A lot of people were salty about not making it. You know what I mean? So they're not really in a congratulating mood. Me, I was already in the Team Backpack like elite type of level. So I was looking for the next guys because I was already looking to elevate to my next destination. You know what I'm saying? So we were always really looking for that next class of guys, you know, that was really bringing it, especially from New England. Like,
I was gonna say if I think I even said when I was on stage coming from Boston, but I think me and you had met just one other time at we met at one of them grind mode shows.
Grind mode strikers, right?
Yeah. And I met you. You had performed that night. I think it might have even been like one of the Thanksgiving shows because we all performed. The Have Not has performed, I think, the same night.
Okay.
I forget. But I had met you one other time. So then when I saw you out there, and then after I saw you, I saw all the grind mode guys. Then I ended up getting left there, so I was stuck. At Mission Underground.
Classic Eastie story.
I was just gonna say that.
In LA, you were stuck.
I was stuck, and then I ended up getting back to the hotel that I was at on Hollywood Boulevard. But the kid that I was supposed to be going back with, I don't know. He said his phone died or something. Then he said they didn't allow him. Then they said they didn't allow him to audition or something. I mean,
that's why he left you. He didn't
exactly.
I was mad.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, whatever, man. I mean, that was the same time I saw Token was out there with Glass and Composition. They were all out there.
Yeah, we caught Token super early, like 15. We had Token already.
Yeah,
you know, I was telling them I was keeping. What I like about what Token did was the team around him when he was so young. I was pressing those guys like John and them, like, yo, do not fuck this up because
you got something
15.
here.
He's got it, and he's your responsibility. And they was like, we know, and they did everything right. Those fucking guys, they did everything right. You know what I'm saying? And he's winning, man. He's winning.
Oh yeah,
he is.
He's definitely winning.
He's winning, man. He's winning.
But, so it's just like I said, it's a testament to your hard work. The first thing I heard was Pressure 3. Me and Jack were talking about it before.
We were just talking earlier. First thing I heard was we were in high school and Eastman showed me the original video for Take Me Away. The original one. And
Take Me Away. Oh man, no way.
Because you redid that video, right?
I redid the whole record.
You redid the whole record. So I remember the original record.
A lot of people don't understand. Like when I redid a lot of the music, the older music, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you know, you redid this record and you changed it." But a lot of people don't understand that, like, back then, when we were putting out so much music in, like, 2011, 2012, like, I was, like, 19 years old. Yeah. The internet was just, like, the social media was just popping. Like, I wasn't even paying for beats. I was just taking them shits offline and just making music. You know what I mean? Like, so when I got to learning the business, I was like, holy shit, I own none of this music.
Yeah.
Like, I own none of this music. This is great. I got 70 songs. Who gives a shit? None of it's mine. So what I started to do was, you know, find these producers and like Take Me Away is a great exception to where I was able to use the same beat, just obviously change the hook, keep like the same lyrics because I was able to track down that producer. But some of the records I couldn't even know who produced the record, so I would have to get it reproduced. You know what I mean? And try to salvage some of that music, that older music, to at least make money off of it. So when people hear like remakes, like, what the fuck? I'm like, mind your business. Like, hey, you don't know why, and you won't understand. So if you don't like it, too bad. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, when
we still got you.
Did we lose
I think
you?
we just lost him. We'll do a quick pause.
What happened?
All right.
All right. We back.
Yeah, man, we back.
But
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you, like, you know what I mean, for noticing that. And
yeah,
a lot of people, you know, they always ask me like, when you gonna get a deal? Like, I can't wait to see you blow up. And like, I think those are some of the most ignorant people out there, because they don't realize that the modern day slavery of the industry is very much alive, man. You know what I mean? And
right.
we met with
You gotta own your masters.
Right.
Yeah.
After the show, even after the show, we met with everybody, like everybody. You know what I mean? And I decided to still stay independent because of certain reasons of like, I own everything. I have 100% ownership. Like, it's cool. All right, so if I make $1 million and I own 10% of it, that's $100,000, right? And I'm puppeted as doing whatever somebody else says and giving up that control. If I'm making $100,000 independently with my freedom, what difference? The only difference is that I'm gonna be more famous.
Right.
So now you have to ask yourself as an artist how much you want that fame, according to the difference in the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to obviously I could make more money. I'm just using $1 million as an example.
Yeah.
But being able to maintain my independence, make the music I want to make, do what I want to do, and keep the percentage, the majority percentages. A lot of people don't understand that if you take a round of investments, I've taken 3 deals, just not from labels. You know what I mean? I could take a round of investments because all a label deal really is a loan at a horrible interest rate. So for me, doing all my independent stuff, I decide to take, you know, equity out of my account or out of my corporation to get funds that I can use to continue to further my career, and I'm still controlling everything. So for me, that's what's more important for me than the fame. Like, you know, when we did the show, that was great because that offered us some more eyeballs, some more of the fame, some more of the numbers without giving up control. When the show was first brought to us, there was a whole lot of things that were implemented in the contract, and then we weren't going to do it. And then they changed it to a cash prize only. And that's when we were like, let's rock and roll. It's cash prize. Let's do it. No strings attached.
Right.
There's no show's ever done that. But it's because of the backlash they got from what was originally in the contract.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you got to credit Joe Budden for that, because Joe Budden was the one that actually brought the contract out on his I forgot what the show he has on Revolt, State of the Culture. On his State of the Culture show, he brought the contract out and he pointed out all of those things, and kind of they ridiculed it. And it kind of made the producers come back and say, you know what, we're going to scratch that. We're going to do a cash prize. And I was like, beautiful. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know? Let's do it. You want this to be real? You want some real artists? You're going to have to change that, because nobody's going to really go for that. If you want the average Instagram rapper that doesn't really have a career and bet that on your Netflix show, on your Netflix budget, then fine, do that. But if you want to get some real solid artists, you're going to have to, you know, make it fair. You know what I mean? And they did that. Shout out to them for doing that, because they definitely did.
Hell yeah. How would you say your music career has changed since the appearance on the show?
Financially, it's changed because my music's being streamed at a higher level.
Yeah.
I'm getting more for shows. You know what I mean? My price went up.
Right.
On all angles.
Right.
And just being more recognized, you know, for the music, you know what I mean, and being more recognized for the stuff. And what I love about it is, like, a lot of people can go viral, or a lot of people can be on a TV show, a reality show, and make themselves look like an idiot. Right. You know what I mean? I feel like the show is so respectable with how we represented ourselves, the content that we created, the battle, the finale, the way we went out. Like, the fact that we're arguably could have been the winner. You know what I mean? I'm proud of that. So when people see me, they're not like, oh, you're that dude from that show that was this. They're like, yo, you're flawless from, that last song, that battle. Like, it's all.
Hell yeah. I mean, people remember that On My Way performance. Like, people are going to remember that.
For sure.
Forever. That was probably the most emotional performance, I think, of the show. And the fact that you got the credit from Cardi and T.I. and Chance, like, they recognized your ability. So yeah, I'm
way too seasoned to ever allow myself to be ignorant to the fact that we're doing a television show.
Right.
So with the finale, it was a matter of how can I still win no matter what they do up there? No matter what the judges say, I gotta be able to still win because there's a good chance they're not gonna give me this bread because I'm already here in a sense. And I didn't know if I was gonna be deemed the winner. So I said, do I do what they want me to do, what the producers are kind of hinting us to do, or do I just go left and do what I want to do and make sure that I'm remembered on the show forever, no matter whether I win or lose? So I decided to go against the grain and do something more memorable opposed to something over the top to try to get that victory. You know what I mean? And it was like, no matter what happens, whether I win or lose, I'm going to make sure that I leave with everybody's favor, like in a sense, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And I think we executed that beautifully. And even though we didn't win, I mean, D-Smoke did an incredible job in the finale. And credit to him, you know what I mean? Congrats to him for winning. But I think we definitely left with that.
You made your mark for sure.
Everybody's mind for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So about the business and everything, I know before before the show and everything, you used to go around, you toured with Tech before.
Yeah, man.
So how much influence did his independence have on you?
His independence had a lot of influence on me because when I first went on that tour, I didn't understand who Tech N9ne really was. You know, a lot of people weren't really familiar with him in my area. I wasn't a ton familiar with him.
This was what year that you went on tour?
This was 2011.
Okay. Yeah.
This is right on the brinks of him dropping all 6s and 7s with Lil Wayne.
Yep.
This is like right before his album dropped. Because the album dropped while we was on the road and it was insane.
Right. I remember that track, Fuck Food, with Lil Wayne.
That's one of my favorite joints.
I love that song.
I love that fucking record. That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one thing most of that. But yeah, so when we opened for Tech in Atlanta and he saw the show, he offered us a spot on the tour. 48 cities, we had to figure out how to get from city to city, so we invested in a bus ourselves, and we just ate gas station food every day and sold merch for gas money. Like we grinded every single day. But you know,
what's it like living on a bus? Is it I mean, obviously there's tiers to that bus quality, but like I've been told there's kind of a rhythm to like how you like just hygiene and things like every day is kind of you're not everything's in the bus, so you kind of have to find spots to stop at, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't take a crap on the bus. That's
right.
You know what I mean? Some guys try to hot bag it, but that's not like some guys are trying to like put a bag and then throw it out the window.
That's too much.
Too much. So you know what I mean? It's not bad at all. Like what it is, you know what I mean? We obviously get hotel rooms to take showers and stuff like that. We have to get the driver a hotel room when we get to the city. The bunks are great. They're comfortable. There's TVs in every bunk. There's a back lounge where you could chill. It's really just about maintaining your area. You know what I mean? Like it depends on how many people you have on your bus. Some buses are overcrowded, 12 bunks, 12 people. We have a 6-person team, 12 bunks, so we can condo our bunks. We kind of like have double space. You know what I mean? We're neater. You know, it's like everybody knows keep your shit in your bunk, keep your curtain, keep your spray your bunk every day. You know, it's just like those things because you can easily get sick being in that closed environment, traveling for 30, 40 days. You know what I mean? So the last thing I need to do is get sick when we're performing every single night.
Does that ever happen? You got to battle through sniffles?
Oh man, I remember the first night we had a 33-city tour, and we was in Kansas. And it was me and Stevie Stone from Kansas City, and I caught food poisoning the first day of the tour.
Damn.
And I was a mess. It was the worst experience I think I've ever gone through because I just really had to tough it out. You know what I mean? And that first day, just thug it out. We had a meet and greet. It was horrible.
Oh shit!
It was horrible.
Damn.
Yeah. And I always usually get sick the first week. It's just like let me get it out the way now, and then I'm good. You know what I mean? But that's
it out of your system.
Kansas City, was that wasn't the end of the tour? Was that with Tech N9ne?
No, that once I did the Tech N9ne tour and I learned so much from Tech, I never left the road again. I've been touring independently since 2011. And where I caught food poisoning was like 2018, 2017. We did 33 cities in the Midwest and West.
Damn.
Yeah. That was totally different tour.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've done probably, I would say between 10 to 12 nationwide tours over the past 6-7 years. And a lot of spot dates, you know what I mean? Like one-offs and stuff like that. You know? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like.
What was your first?
What's the furthest?
All right.
Sorry.
Furthest.
Yeah. What's the furthest?
We've never done anything international. That's like right now. I was like supposed to do my first Canada date, April 2nd, and obviously that got pushed back. But yeah, we've done everywhere in the States. We've just never like gone overseas.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of space around here. Yeah.
Yeah. We've done all 50 though, for sure. Maybe not like Alaska, but you know what I mean.
I was gonna ask, did you guys hit Alaska?
You done Alaska?
burn that motherfucker down.
Right.
So not to jump back to the show, but at the audition, Jada was there. Did you and Jada do bodies before the show, or did you meet him at the show and he had heard about you and then it happened?
No. Me and Jada had done bodies before the show, but it was a time where we were both traveling, right? And I had a relationship with his like road manager, and he was like, "Yo, man, you know, if you want to get a record, I can get you one with Jada." Because I was asking him about a certain particular artist if he had connections to him. He's like, "Yo," he's like, "I'm with Jada." He's like, "I think you and Jada would be crazy." And for me, like, I normally don't like to. I gotta word this the right way. I normally don't like to I don't want to be featured with the older artists, but I don't really, there's a lot of people that shop that. Like, well, I can get you a feature with like Coogee Rap and like.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be a great honor for me, but for right now in the market, it's not really gonna be beneficial.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Jada's like one of those exceptions, like top 5 dead or alive type. You know what I mean?
He's still relevant, like with everyone. Anyone who likes hip hop loves Jada.
Yeah, like it's never a bad time for a Jada feature.
Right,
so when
exactly.
he said that, I was like, "Yo, I'm with that." And he was like, "Yo, boom." He's like, "Send 3 records. He gonna pick one and rock it." I was like, "I'm not doing 3 records. I'm doing 1 record, and this is the one. Trust me, because if I'm gonna do one with Jada in mind, it's gonna be the one that I know he's gonna want to get on."
Yeah.
So I did bodies with him already in mind. Sent the record. Next day I had it back. I was like, yes, let's fuck. I couldn't fucking believe it, bro. And he gave me a body verse.
He killed that shit. Yeah, he killed that shit. Bottom of the ocean with a brick tied to him.
Yeah, and yo, like, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but like, Rhode Island is the ocean state.
Oh, so, true.
So when he came off my hook, like, let the bodies hit the bottom of the ocean with a rope tied to it, I'm like, he just put my city on the map.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't even know if my own state realized it. I was like, yo, man, this is so perfect. Like, it's so crazy. I was so amped off that. Like, I think it took a month for me to, like, get over that.
I mean, that's big. That's big.
Yeah, that was big, man. And then, right before, they left me dead on last for the audition. I didn't even know Jada was out there because he wasn't saying nasty things. So when people were coming back, they were only telling me, like, "Oh, Fat Joe said this. Can you believe it? Oh, and Cardi had the nerve to say this." Nobody's mentioning Jada. So right before I go on, the person right before me, they're like, "Yeah, Jada, I knew Jada wasn't going to like this shirt." So I was like, "Jada's out there?" I was like, "Jada, Fat Joe, and Cardi." I'm like, "I don't know, I'm at least going to get one of them. I got to get one of them, right?" He's like, "Fuck it." And I had just opened for Fat Joe in the Hamptons not too long before that. And he was like, "Yo, you sick." But, you know.
In the Hamptons?
In the Hamptons, we drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know if this dude remembers that night. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not
right.
You remember me, right? Yeah. So I'm like, yo, I opened for this little QA. He was crazy. He was showing me love. And I got the record with Jada. I'm like, it's really, but I know it's up to Cardi. Like, I don't know, whatever. Let's just see how it goes. You know, and it went good. So when Jada said that, I think he remembered the name. We wasn't in the studio making the record. Now, if we were, he would have been like, oh shit, I definitely know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I would have made my presence felt in the session like that, where he would have never forgot me. But you know, we did the record over live. So I think when he heard the name, he was like, "Yeah, I think this nigga's nice though. Like he's nice. I think I just did a record with this dude." Now obviously he's not gonna say it on the show.
Right.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, this nigga's nice though." You know.
He was finally putting a face to the name.
But that also was a testament to my grind for all these years, because it was like I walked out of there and like I was recognized, and it was yeah, that's right. Like I put that work in. Like it made me feel so good, because obviously when I walked out live, I didn't hear him say that. I didn't even know he said that. So when I'm watching the show and I seen that, I was like, damn, that's what's up, yo. Like that's what's up. Like, you know what I mean? It felt really good. Yeah.
What would you say your first big break was in music? Was it the tour with Tech in 2011? Like what moment did you realize like this could become something?
Yeah. I think the moment I realized this could become something was when I packed everything up and moved to Atlanta. Okay. Because it was 2010 and I was selling out like jerkies and shit, and I was doing like all those shows, and we was doing like Ultra on Thursdays, and it just became redundant. Like it just and I appreciated those people that came out every week, but it was like the same girls, it was like the same people. And I was like, I just like pictured myself being like 40 performing for the same 40-year-olds. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna die here if I don't get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be at Coda Lounge, like doing these shows with Gifted forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be like, so it was just like I gotta make a move. So Atlanta was hot at the moment, and it was like, I'm different. I'm gonna go down there. You know, I had a few people that I knew down there, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I could try to make it happen. And it was like, we're so different, we're either gonna be loved or hated. We're gonna find out. You know what I mean? And I went down there, I immediately started winning a bunch of competitions. And then they had this big like competition with Wendy's and like the radio station. It was like to open up for Ludacris and T.I. At Birthday Bash. It was like Phillips Arena, 20,000 people. We won the competition. So we got to do Phillips Arena, shut it down. Now that's why I tell all my local artists too, just as a sidebar, I was doing them Coda Lounge shows for 100 people every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I was at Ultra, and like they felt like people were like, oh, like it felt like it was like a waste of time doing those little shows. Right. But it was only 2 months from when I left Rhode Island, I was on a stage in front of 20,000 people. And if I hadn't been doing those weekly shows, I would have died up there, because I was polished and confident, because this is what I do. I do it every week. You know what I mean? You
build your foundation locally, and then you.
So those those little shows that people don't want to do right now, those shows is what made me prepared for the Tech tour, for the big stages. You know what I mean? So like
you don't just get on stage in front of 20,000. It doesn't just happen.
And know what you're gonna do when you're not doing it consistently. Right. So you know, I
gotta put up your reps.
Days. Yeah, I credit those days. You know, of those every week shows, and people looking at me like I was an idiot because I was just doing them little shows every week. Like it was pointless, but it wasn't. It was all training for what was to come. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man.
What's the scene? What's the hip hop scene like in Providence?
Right now?
Right now, yeah.
Or when I was active. Right now?
I mean,
right now it's more united than ever.
Okay.
Because the creatives are hosting particular nights for other creators to come and vibe. You know what I mean? Like there's a place called Troop where they host like, you know, jam sessions, and like people come up and everybody's vibing, give me like real good LA vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of positivity. Not a lot of beefs. Everybody really fucks with each other. You know what I mean? And
it wasn't like that before.
Hell no. I was the one closing on the show.
That's like Boston too. That's like Boston too, though. Boston's kind of figured that out the last few years. Like, you know, we're all kind of in this together.
I don't think that Boston's figured it out, or that we have figured it out. I think we're just older.
Yeah, maybe.
Some people learn. Some people don't want to get out.
We're more mature now, because I'm telling you, I was the one causing all the trouble out here. Like I was dissing everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was dissing everybody.
I mean, I saw some beefs. Don't worry, I was around for the beefs. I mean, I'm just, you know, one of those, like I said, you know, some people just don't ever like to leave that mentality where it's, you know, not to say the me against the world mentality is bad, because obviously it's a good motivator too. But when you take it to the extent where you don't want anybody else around you and you're better than every single last person, like it doesn't work out that way. You know?
It takes a team for any type of success. So, and that counts in music, business, everything. You need a good team around you, and you can't just be a lone wolf all the time. So, and it definitely makes sense.
For sure, man. Definitely.
I mean, like we've said before, like Atlanta's kind of set the example for that. You know, just kind of working together.
It was crazy, like seeing the atmosphere, because we were getting so much love from the outside crowd, but we were getting so much hate from the artists, because the artists didn't appreciate the fact that we were coming in there, taking their women, killing the show, out rapping them, and I'm light skinned out here like a pretty boy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just evaluated the situation. I'm like, they don't like me.
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite of what they like. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just kept myself safe. You know what I mean? Professional. I made sure I moved accordingly wherever I moved, because I knew that, you know, there was a few people that were like, yo, man, you know, you got to watch, you know, a lot of people don't like what you're doing out here. Like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. We good. You know what I'm saying? I had security at all times when I went out to events, and I just did it. And then once I secured the bag and, like, got myself to a point where, like, I didn't need to be in Atlanta no more, I got the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I went back. Boom. I did what I had to do, and I'm out. You know what I'm
saying? So would you recommend, like, would you say that for New England artists, it's a good idea to get out of New England for at least some period of time if you're really trying to make it? Because you're not the only artist who's done that, you know, kind of move somewhere else and then blown up and then come back home.
It's a tricky question because a lot of artists move somewhere else and they don't put in the work.
Right.
They're looking for like a opportunity.
Right.
But the opportunity, and like let me be clear, we're talking 2011. Instagram wasn't even out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Social media was not even like, it was still like just off of, like, Facebook was still for college kids.
Right.
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 You know what I'm saying? So like I might have not moved to Atlanta in today's day because I had this.
Right.
I didn't have this. I had
to
take my van. I had a fucking van, wrap it with my face on it, with the CDs in the back. You know what I mean? Burn them CDs every night and be in the streets handing CDs out.
Yeah.
That's over.
Those days are over. Yeah.
Those days are over. So in today's day, I wouldn't move to Atlanta.
Right.
I'm good right where I'm at. Part of the reason why I am where I am, you know what I mean? Why I have a house in Rhode Island over LA, because I can be in LA whenever I want, but I don't want to live there because I have social media, I have technology. Right. I can touch everybody around the world. You know what I mean?
Right from your home. You can.
I go live. They're like, "What else from South Africa, from Germany?" I'm like, "What's up, Germany?" Like, it's that fast. You know what I mean?
And that sort of ties in. That ties into, like we've mentioned before, how labels are less necessary these days than ever before, and that's because you can promote yourself. And like you already mentioned, you do a lot of the engineering and mixing yourself. So as far as outsourcing goes, and I mean, again, like we said, it takes a team to make things work. But as far as needing these, just being at the whim of these giant corporations to say, you'll perform at this, you'll make these types of songs, and we're going to get this percentage of it. You're able to do these reach outs, and the marketing's all in your hands. And it definitely kind of allows more creativity. You can kind of grow up a fan base that's more organic to you. And I'm sorry, I cut you off. You can keep going there.
No, it's good. It's definitely, absolutely. I definitely agree. And the corporations just take too much of the pie. It's not like the label is bad, because the label is not bad. They actually help, and they actually have, you know what I mean, the resources for you to service that, for you to have those services that they provide or that are available. You know what I mean? Some people are more pregnant to only working with major labels opposed to independent artists because it's, you know, more professional, or they get paid, they guaranteed, you know, the money's guaranteed. So it all depends. But if the deal's right, the deal's right. You know what I mean? It all depends on what the percentages are and what you're giving in exchange for that service. So for me, it's great to have that flexibility to be able to see where I want to put my marketing dollars, not how much marketing dollars are being spent, and not knowing where it's being spent or, you know, where it's going. For me, I can target particular areas, particular things that I know are working for me, and put those dollars to use in those areas that I know are most affected without having to worry if the best interest is in there because it's me doing it. I know I have my best interest, you know what I mean? So all the marketing money gets put where I believe it should be put. And I think that's the advantage of being independent is that, you can kind of dictate where you want to put the money, where you want to focus the funds or focus your attention to, where you should be. Like right now over the last couple of weeks, I've been doing these little like lives, and I've been doing like rhythm and flow game show, right? We asking rhythm and flow questions and we giving away prizes, right? So we doing that, and then we monetizing that by just putting it on YouTube and getting the views off of it and everything else. But it's a constant monetization of how to focus your attention and where you're going to make your money, opposed to hoping that other people are doing the same,
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Totally. Hey, so the band, you got Josh doing drums. Is it Josh?
Yeah. I'm still with Josh for sure.
Yeah, that
Josh has actually moved up to like more of an executive role with Red Eye Movies. And he's still drumming, but he's got like more of a more established role within the company. So that way, when we do grow and have like more of a band, and he doesn't want to play as much anymore, or whether he still wants to play or not, he still has another position to secure him. Josh has been very loyal throughout the years, so anybody that's been with me grinding has a position to be in this forever with us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, your team is way more than just a team. I mean, your team's family to you. I mean, I've seen it since you and Red Eye Movies hooked up. I mean, obviously you knew those guys beforehand, but when you guys first all came together, I mean, it was kind of like, I don't want to say like shocking because it wasn't shocking, but it was like, that was that thing when you guys all got together that separated you from just being that local, that local figurehead for because let's be honest, I mean, you were kind of like, you and Lingo were right. You, Lingo, Passionate were all right there. You guys were off the top of grind mode, and you and Passionate went and did your thing, and you did what you had to do. Because I mean, even that War Cry song that you guys did, like, I mean, that shit's still like, I don't know. That's like hip hop. That's hip hop in its purest form. You two going back and forth. I mean, and there was that, like, when you guys first started to take that step, that was you guys literally saying, no, we're going to, not that you're bigger than these people, but you're taking your steps to get where you need to be, where you want to be,
It never was we never had any malice towards the grimo movement or anything like that. It was just a business decision, you know what I mean, to no longer be a part of it. And like there's no personal feelings towards it. It's just like, when you're in the business and you're a businessman like me, and you see certain business things going on and you're not a part of it, then it's time to move on. That's all. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. You feel? So me and Passionate kind of saw things and was like, okay, well, we're carrying a lot of this, on our shoulders, you know what I'm saying, leading this thing, and we're not reaping any benefits from it. So we should probably stop doing this. And that's all that was, you know what I mean?
No, and I didn't mean to, if I sounded like
a lot of people always ask me, like, so I'm just clearing that up now. Like, for anybody that does wonder, like, I know you do a lot of grind modes and stuff, and like, I never have anything negative to say because it's always been a great platform for us, and I commend Lingo for everything he's ever done with that platform. But it was just a business decision for me and Pass. It wasn't like we were like, oh fuck them, we're out of here. Like it never was like anything like that. It was just like, okay, well, this is going on. We're not really feeling that, so we're gonna move this way. You feel me?
Yeah, no, and like I said, it was like you guys stepping. It was you guys taking that next step, Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, not even, and I'm not in the position that you guys were, but I mean, I haven't done one in, Jesus, I don't know, probably like a year and a half, because in my head, and I mean, I got a ton of respect for Lingo. Like I'll work with Lingo, but as far as like to drive over an hour to rap for 45 seconds, and not really gain anything except for views out of it. I don't know. I'm kind of at a point where, like, if I'm not, if it's not bettering me, and not to sound greedy, not saying I need money in my pocket, but like if it's not going to better me, and if the pros don't outweigh the cons, then it don't make sense.
The law of diminishing returns, like what you've done grind modes, you don't need to continue to do them.
It's a good platform.
Yeah.
It's a good platform for people who are trying to get their name out there, but at a certain point you graduate from it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like you said earlier, we're getting older and we're learning all these other aspects, all these other avenues, or take it as, as whatever you do, you could be a gas pump guy, and a better job comes along where you're filling up the gas tanks instead of just pumping it, and now you're the guy driving that big 18-wheeler. Boom, I'm like that lane.
Facts.
It's all about leveling up.
Exactly. That's it, man. It's all about leveling up one day at a time.
Right.
And you continually do it. I mean, Rise is that's the team,
Yeah.
And it's all like, literally since we've been following you and knowing you, you've literally just rose. It's not. It's not just a figure of speech, or it's not just. It's not just the type of what you guys do. You put everything into motion,
Yeah, man. We're really gearing up for a big year. We've had a little bit of bumps, with this coronavirus stuff. It's really held us in place. But the first quarter don't determine the final score, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we're just gonna let this first quarter rock, and we're gonna pick it up for the summer and just make it even crazier for sure.
Hell yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So
man,
when this is all over, you're gonna have like 3 albums done. Fucking
man, I'm trying to get. I was scheduled to have my project put out for the end of January, beginning of February, but I'm like in the mix of working on some really big records. So with me and my team, we decided to push back to April. Now, when we pushed back to April, this was like the end of November. We decided that we wasn't going to be able to get everything done in time, so we pushed back to April. So now I'm sitting there, and I'm like, April? I'm like, that's too long. So I cooked up the Every Second Matters EP in like 20 days and put it out at the end of December just to get another body of work out in the meantime, so people don't have to wait 4 or 5 months for the next body of work. Because we were hot off the show, fresh off the show. And I was like, I can't let that much time go. You know what I mean? So we dropped the Every Second Matters EP. We came in number 4 on the iTunes hip hop charts. I was happy with it. Everything, it was growth from the last project. And then now we're working on that big album with the big features, with, pulling all the favors, all the relationships, you know what I mean? And just really working on something monumental to be able to kick off for the summer. And pushing it back a little bit was not pushing it back a little bit. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Pushing it back a little bit was not the worst thing, because now we're gonna come in right in time for summer. You know what I'm saying? And we pushed it back before this shit even hit, so it worked out.
Hell yeah! You got to come up and perform at the Middle East when you drop it. When they allow performances again.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta definitely hit the Middle East, man. I've never. I don't think I've ever.
You've never performed there?
Once.
Really?
I think I might have did one show with Raekwon and Wu-Tang.
Okay. Have you done a lot of shows in Boston or like the Boston area at all?
I've done the Palladium.
Yeah.
In Worcester, but I don't do a lot of Boston gigs. I might have done the one he just said. Which one? What is it called again? The Middle East, maybe once with Wu-Tang, like back in like 2015, maybe. Yeah.
Boston's Big Four is putting on a show soon. If you'd like to get in on it.
Yeah, we're trying to put on a show soon.
Yeah.
Once everything calms down. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it for sure, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Owen's been putting in the legwork with Leeds. Owen and Jack.
Having conversations, man.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it, man.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
You got to get it done yourself.
So what's your? I mean, obviously, getting the album done is a big goal and getting it out. But what's your big goal for the next? Obviously, coronavirus is going to throw it off. But what's your main goal for the next year? What step do you want to take next?
I want my next body of work to be nominated for a Grammy. I definitely want to be in that conversation. You know what I mean? For best new artist.
Hell yeah.
I'm just right under the brakes of where with my scheduling of release and where I plan to be. I should be right around there in that area. You know what I'm saying? But just really just establishing myself more. Whether I take a deal or not is still undetermined. We've been talking partnership with a few, you know what I mean, people. But, you know, those numbers, like if I ever do a partnership, the numbers were right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really about us continuously building to that point. And we've never been closer to that. So, you know, it's just a matter of how far we want to take it, how far we can take it with the right opportunity and the right situation. You know, if not, I stay independent and I just keep rising how I've been rising step by step. It's not a problem for me. I got all day. Like, I don't care. Like, and I think that stubbornness that I've had has kind of pissed a couple people off and also motivated a couple people to work with me because they're like, yo, he really is serious about his shit.
He's not giving up.
He could be an icon if he really does have the right opportunity. Maybe we should give him that right deal. Or, you know, some people are like, this dude really thinks that he's, you know, worth that much when he's not. He's crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, have a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
I
don't need that kind of energy.
That's it. It's that simple, you know. No matter what, it's still have a good day. You feel me?
Right.
Hell yeah.
You know, the next year is just
totally in your power.
What happened?
What'd you say?
I'm sorry, you were saying in the end you just gotta have a good day, and that's totally in your power whether you're gonna take that and better yourself and just kind of create your worth. You can't let someone define that.
Right.
Yeah, man. Oh, they will. They definitely will. They'll tell you exactly what you're worth for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got no problem with it. You can't tell them, but they can tell you. That's just crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when did you decide to stop swearing in your music?
I think it was like 2016, right before I dropped this different album. I think I noticed that like I hadn't sworn like the first 10 or 12 records.
Oh, really?
And it was like, damn, there's no swears. Like, and I think I was going through them and I said, I had like one or two that were like, and I like had like one swear in it. And I was like, what? Wow. Like, I'm going to have to put an explicit sticker over one word. And I was like, I should probably just change the word.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if I just change the word? Like, I don't even need that there. And then I started thinking like about like how many DJs used to haunt me down for like, yo, I need this record, send me the clean version.
Right. They always need the clean version.
I'm like, damn, like, how many of those emails have I missed? Or how many of those DJs have not been able to contact me or get in contact with me? So I found it, like, you know, when I started doing that and the music started picking up, like, you know, I found, like, the DJ for, like, the Houston Rockets, like, playing the record in the arena.
I saw that.
That's
fire.
I never even, like, sent them the record.
Right.
Because it's already clean.
It's already clean,
so, it was just like a testament. Like when those things started happening, I'm like, that's why I did this. Like, and also, so that way, like, when before, like people would be like, oh, let me hear something. And if it was like, let's say it was like a middle-aged like white guy, it's like, I'm not gonna play this dude my new freestyle, and I'm over here saying the N-word 5 times. So I'm like looking for specific. I would be like cautious about who I play my music around. I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to play the music, like even if it's against it all. And I'm rapping like bars, you can still play it around your 2-year-old who's there because there's no profanity. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like, you know, I think it's just a lot of different reasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw an interview with Rakim recently.
I definitely appreciate it.
I saw an interview with Rakim recently, and you know, Rakim never swore in his raps, or hardly ever did.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. That's dope.
So he was just saying how like, and that's the thing, you wouldn't even notice. And I didn't even notice that I didn't even notice that you weren't swearing until you made a post about it one time.
No way.
On Instagram, and I was like, I didn't even know he wasn't swearing in his music. Like it kind of goes over your head unless you know that they're not swearing. So
because when you say like no, I don't like to really say. I think I might have said it just because I was like, I really wanted to get the word out because it's like when you say like if you say I don't swear in my music, it automatically sounds corny as shit. It
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
corny as shit. Like, oh, you don't swear in your music? I can't wait to hear this.
Right, right.
I don't know what it's gonna sound like.
Right. No, and Rakim never really talked about it that much either, but he's one of the greatest of all time, and he never really swore. And I saw an interview with him recently.
I did swear recently though.
Okay.
I was doing.
Well, you swore in the battle with Beans for sure.
Yeah,
that's different. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're out of here. You mentioned my kid, they're dead.
yeah, right.
But I was doing. I heard with one of the new records that I just put out on the EP, and it was like I was coming up with the and I'm vibing, and it's like I heard somebody say my name in this, bitch. No way, no. And I was like, yo, I just love how that sounds, right? And I was just like, and I was beating myself over it, like what I needed to change that word to. And then like, I think like Red Eye was over here, and I was like going through the chocolate. And he's like, dude, just say bitch, like just say it, just say it. It's how you were feeling. Just say it.
Right,
it's
right.
the only swear on the album. It's one word.
Right.
Because I was like literally like in here for like 3 hours. Like, what can I change? Like, I heard somebody say my name in this. I'm rich. No way. Like, I'm just trying to like change the word. And then like,
yeah.
He's like, and he was just so fed up with me. He's like, how about you just say bitch? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's just leave it. It's an emotion. It's that one word. Fuck it.
Right.
But
because rap is so much on emphasis.
Well, hey, you can say you can say it on TV.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, it can't be that bad.
But
well, sometimes there is a need just because of that emphasis. Like there is sometimes where explicit is just how you need to go. But it's definitely something to admire where you're not just kind of going for that shock value, because obviously swearing is kind of abrasive, and that, like I was mentioned, like rap's pretty, it's about emphasis. So you kind of, you can emphasize on swears a lot easier. So I think that
and
is
now
kind of
I can't even listen to like you guys mentioned like Pressure 3. I can't even listen to that.
Why not?
There's like, you know how many swears are in there?
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot.
So you don't even like listening to your music with swears in it anymore?
Nah, I can't even listen to that shit. I swear. Wow. Like, and it's crazy. Like, I never thought that I would feel that way. You know what I mean? And like now I listen to like older stuff. Like I found myself unlisting a lot of my old videos because of it. Like, you know what I mean? If Pressure 3 wasn't so like epic with some fans that like love it so much, that video would have been archived a long time ago.
Right.
But it's so meaningful to certain fans that have been following me for a long time that I just leave it up because they just love it.
Yeah.
But I cannot listen to like that music. Like I can't listen to anything before it's different because it's just too much. Yeah, it's too much like N-word, like the N-bombs. Like I don't even know why I was even saying that shit in my music. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But you learn and you grow, you know?
Yeah. You so you mentioned your kids and not speaking ill on them. Don't come at me now. But did they did your kids play any influence in you not wanting to swear? I know you did the dance challenge where you had the hashtag. What was it? Do your dance?
Yeah,
do my dance. Yeah.
Do my dance. Yep. And it's almost like, and not like you're gearing it towards kids, because obviously you're gearing it to the music towards everyone, but you're also creating that avenue for the kids now to be like.
Yeah, we shot the video in the elementary school. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dancing and stuff. They didn't have a crazy influence because it's not like they're listening to my music all day, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm dad. I'm not like I'm not cool at all.
They don't listen to your music?
No, they don't fuck with me.
No? Damn.
They only rock with me now after Rhythm. Now,
now the Cardi B likes you.
Now I can pick them up from school. They want me to come on. You know, my friend wants to FaceTime with you. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Now I'm cool, but before, forget it. But it was just like for other parents, like I noticed, you know, like they play the music in the car with the kids, and it's just everything just kind of set in. Like I said, just so many different reasons. My kids definitely played an influence, like just me growing older and knowing I have kids, but they don't listen to my music, so they don't know, you know.
Cool, dope. I just had another question, but I fucking forgot it. So I apologize.
What was it like? What was it like performing with Janae Aiko on that show on the Rhythm and Flow?
Oh man, that was dope. I think it was cool because she felt a little intimidated, and I felt like I was right where I belonged. Like the whole challenge was like working with these big artists, and like it was supposed to make you nervous, but I think I had her nervous.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like a testament to like how prepared I was for that, how prepared I am for that type of level. You know what I mean? And the show played a lot of mind games. Like a lot of people don't know, it wasn't never the challenges that were difficult. It was the mind games between challenges. And that, which is so crazy to me, that they didn't show a different side of the show. They showed more competition based opposed to showing the shit they was doing to us. Because
were you like sleep deprived and whatnot?
Oh my goodness. Absolutely, bro.
Really?
Sleep deprived was not even the word. Like, I can't even tell you. It was insanity. I was like, this is not legal. Like, this,
really?
What do you mean? What happened?
Legal.
Playing
There's
music at night, making you get drunk and stuff. I'm guessing.
Yeah. What was it like?
MTV.
What was it like? Talk about that.
So it was more. Okay, so like, let's just say like the battle challenge, right, was intense as shit, right? It was so crazy because we get, first you got to get up super early. They put you in the red room. The red room has all red things. Everything's red, right? Which is supposed to piss you the fuck
red
off.
rum.
Bright and early
Red
in the
rum.
morning, right? There's never nothing to eat. You know what I mean? They call lobby at 6 a.m. You know what I mean? You go down there. It's early as shit. And you're there all day in the red room. And the performance time isn't until like 7, 8 o'clock at night. So you're in the red room just with other people in one room that's all red. You're being deprived of food. You're being, you know what I mean? And
why did they not have food for you?
They're filming you, right? The whole time. Let's just say it's performance day, right? So then, boom, me and Beans were like the last battle. It was just so nerve-wracking. You know, they bring you to the area and then they open the doors and you hear the fucking crowd like chanting like some gladiator shit, right? So it's just like insane, right? Then we finish that challenge. They immediately, as soon as that challenge is over and your brain all day, you're like, it's one day, so you're rehearsing that round in your head all day in that red room. You're dealing with the stress of being filmed. They don't really give you time to rehearse. You have to rehearse while you're filming. So in between takes, I'm like, I'm like figuring, like, I'm trying to stay on top of my verse in between all that. So as soon as that's done, you're like, oh, I made it through. Yes, I just beat Beans. Thank you, Jesus. They're like, all right, here's your next challenge. Boom. Boom. You get your next challenge.
Right away.
They put you back in the red room and they film you more. OTS, interviews, they're filming you constantly, filming you. Yeah. It's like 2:30. They take us back to the hotel. Now, everybody wants to talk about the bullshit and smoke and like wind down from the 19-hour day we just had and like talk shit about everybody else. So we're in the back of the hotel now, smoking. Like, can you believe this shit? How are we supposed to? Now we haven't even wrote our rounds for whatever's tomorrow yet, right? So now it's like 3:30. You know, we done. All right, everybody, we out. Go back up to the room. Lobby calls at 6:37, so there's like 3.5 hours.
Wow.
But I gotta write my rhymes for this feature round, right?
Yep.
Because rehearsals tomorrow morning, and I'm telling the lady, I'm like, I forgot her name. I'm not gonna say the names. I'm like, yo, how are we supposed to rehearse? Like, I gotta write and rehearse my round, for with Janae for tomorrow for rehearsal, right? She dead ass told me, she's like, oh no, you just gotta write it. You don't need to memorize it. It's just you and the band tomorrow, and you're just doing like a preliminary rehearsal. So I'm like, that don't matter, lady. Like, that don't matter. Like, I still need to get, because I don't believe her, because we're already deep in the competition. I done already got through the fuck shit. So don't tell me. So I'm like, whatever. So I get back. It's like 3:30 after we smoke, whatever. Me and Troy. It's usually me, Troy, Caleb, like Sam. You know what I mean? That was like the usual smoke. You know what I'm saying? That's like the usual like group, whatever.
Yeah, you got a couple songs with Troy, right?
Yeah. And I got some with Smoke coming too, and with I got one with Caleb, and I got one with London B too as well.
Hell yeah!
So now it's like 3:30. You know what I mean? I throw the Janae record on. Boom. I'm writing this verse, but I'm so tired, bro. I remember like it was yesterday. I fall asleep mid-verse, right in the verse, because I'm so drained.
Damn.
I wake up, I look, and it says like 6:22. I'm like, oh shit, I have 40 minutes to write this verse.
Oh shit.
So I'm like, all right, boom. So now I'm jumping in the shower. I'm trying to like think. Now, mind you, this has to be a sexy verse. I'm half asleep, rushing to get trying to write this shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not in my element.
You're not in your zone. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a zone. Like, this is far from the zone. You know what I mean? And my head hurts because I haven't slept. So it's just like trying to write it. Boom. I'm in the van. I'm trying to like memorize it. She just told me though, I don't have to memorize it. You know what I mean? So I'm that tired. If I really, really believed it, I would just like take a quick nap. But I don't believe nothing these people say.
Right.
So I'm memorizing, boom, boom. Sure enough, we get to rehearsal. I do one go through with the band. In walks Janae. She's like, I can't wait to hear the verse. Sits down. I'm like
good thing I memorized it. Yeah.
Thank God I remember, because I would look stupid in front of this.
Right. Right.
Oh, this kid's not even ready. Like, what is going on? Like, what kind of show is this? This kid's not ready. You want me to go and perform with this kid? Yeah. So it was just like that kind of shit. Then, I rehearsed with Janae. We do all filming all day. We're doing the performance that night. And then I get through it. I'm like, yes. And they're like, here's your next challenge. I'm like, motherfucker. Like, your brain never shut down for 2 months. You know what I mean?
It was like boot camp.
Constant. Yeah,
it is.
The challenges were never hard. Like, do a feature. Do this. Do a song with a sample. Do a battle. But it was what was being done in between. Like, we need you to film here, and then you get no sleep. So that's the challenges. That's why when, like, a lot of people, they talk about the finale. For me, my only argument with not winning the show was that Smoke did mess up one of his rounds. And for me, the pressure of everything that was going on, if you mess up in one of your rounds, that should be how you get eliminated. Because that's the point of what we're putting you through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's natural selection.
Yeah.
But in his defense, when I watched the show, I realized, because when I was in the moment of it, I was like, I don't get why people didn't get eliminated that messed up. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. But now that I look back at it, his performance was so crazy and powerful that even though he messed up halfway, half of his performance was better than other people that were on the show at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So they was like, yeah, he messed up, but did you see where he was going with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where his genius of where he was taking it saved him from that round of, even though he slipped up and he didn't finish the song, it was half a song still beat your full song. You know what I mean? So it was like, damn. So like the pressure, it was a lot of pressure between the rounds,
Yeah. So that actually got me thinking, is did they ever give any explanation? Like, because it almost sort of sounds like that's meant to simulate tour life. So is that sort of like the way?
Oh, it doesn't simulate tour life, not even one bit.
They
like,
never,
tour
it was
life
just to fuck with you,
a walk in the park compared to what they did. Like,
tour
tour life.
Okay.
Tour life is sleep deprived for sure. You're sleep deprived on the road, but not as much. Like, you can sleep on that's the part of having a driver. So while we're traveling, you're sleeping, you get enough rest, you wake up fresh, you wake up in a different city, you do your meet and greet, you're standing around, you're smoking, you're not really doing no physical work. So like, other than the stage performance, which as you progress as a tour artist, you learn to save yourself and preserve yourself and your body. So it almost becomes routine, and like, you almost the next day don't even feel like you did a show. Like, I could do easily 100 shows in a row. Once I'm in the routine of like 15, 20 shows and I'm on the bus, I can go 100. I can go 100 easy. You know what I mean? So it's all about routine. That's all.
Yeah, and they're forcing the creative process in the show. So I guess that you're not creating necessarily on the road because you're performing material you have. So that does make sense.
And creating on the show was the thing. See, American Idol, these guys are getting songs that are popular. They're getting songs that are out, that are hits, that are radio hits. They're getting sheet music.
That good pitch.
We had to create that content.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's way different.
Oh
And I
yeah.
didn't think about that. Somebody like my business partner actually pointed it out to me. He was like, "Yo, man, American Idol, they gotta learn the lyrics. You had to create these records. Like it's different.
Different
you know?
ball game, yeah.
Yeah.
And then part of like, not to jump back to the memorizing thing, but like part of memorizing it, when you know your verse, like when you know it in here, that's gonna give a way better performance than
Then when
you're reading it or if
Steve, you know
don't
how many times side stage I didn't mess up at all on the show, and I thank God, because I'm telling you, every single time, no matter what performance it was, I was behind the curtain fucking it all up. Fucking it all up. Nervous, fucking it up. Like, I'm about to go out there in 2 minutes and you're really fucking up on this verse. Like, are you serious right now? Like, what are you doing? Like, we're next. Like, and you're still fumbling this verse? Like, are you crazy?
You can't remember the first word?
No, for real. For real. Nerve-wracking, man.
And
then you get up. Then you get up there and everything's fine.
Yeah, I got up there and it clicks. Like, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Even with the Beans thing, like the Beans battle was the scariest because they left us for last, and then after the battle, nobody came back. So you never knew who won the last battle. It was just like people just died off. You just never saw them again. And when people got eliminated, you never saw them again. So it was like really mind game shit. Like, I'm telling you. So then they walk us down the aisle. I'm fucking up my whole verse the whole time. Beans looks like she's ready to tear my head off. She ain't even practicing. She's just walking. I'm over here practicing. You know what I mean? Trying to rehearse.
It did not look like that on the show. Let me be
crazy,
honest.
Right? So
she looked like she knew.
Yes, no, she knew her whole verse. She was looking at me like, you're about to die. I'm looking at her like, if I can only remember this line. And then walk in. You hear the gladiator like cheers, and it went behind the curtain. That shit threw me off alone. I'm like, you hear that? They sound like some gladiator. There's a gladiator in there. Like, so I'm trying to remember this one bar. The lady's next to me. She's like, okay, well, she's got the headset on. She's like, oh, stay right here. She's talking to me. I'm like, shut up. I'm trying to rap. Like, don't talk to me right now. Just let me know.
Yeah.
She's like, 3, 2, 1, go. And she pushes me through the curtain. I don't even know my verse yet.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God. So I go in, I see Smack. I'm like, I can't die in front of Smack. This is not happening right now. So I'm like, I had just won the coin toss. I'm like, you know what? The whole time she's rapping, do not listen to this girl. While this beat is on, you better spit this verse clean all the way through, right? Because you've been fucking up at the same part the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to rap while she's rapping in my head. I'm looking down and shit. People going, oh, and it's throwing me up because I'm like, oh, she just said a hot line, dog. I don't know what she said, but
so you really didn't hear anything she said.
She's going off. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
So I kind of channeled her out. I'm trying to remember the bars, and then when I heard DJ Head start scratching on the beat, I knew that she was finishing. So I snapped out of it. She said the daughter line because it was my daughter's birthday that day.
Right.
And I normally control my schedule. I'm independent, so I can be there all the time for their birthdays. I wasn't in control of this situation, being on the show, so I couldn't be there. And it was like affecting me a little bit, trying to explain to my daughter why I'm not there on her birthday. Well, somebody went and gave her heads up that I was distraught over my daughter's birthday because she put the line in last second.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Threw that line in there. So when the beat started scratching off, I looked up and I snapped out of my trance and I heard her say, today is daughter's birthday, so I'm sending daddy home. And I was like, did she just fucking say that about my kid? She's dead.
Yeah.
She's dead.
Yeah.
But I didn't know whether she meant to say that with the beat scratching off or she added the bar after, you know what I mean? Because she only had a minute to rap. But her saying that put me in a zone that I didn't even think after that. I was like, yeah, Dad.
So when you opened your round with fuck her and everybody in this competition, like, were you planning on saying that before she said that line or no?
Nope.
Okay.
I had 3 different segments of how I was going to attack her. I didn't know exactly what order I was going to put them in, depending on what she said, because I wanted to see if I could rebuttal her.
Right.
Because I knew certain facts about her. I didn't know exactly what she was going to say, but I had nice pieces. I had a few more pieces I could have threw in there too.
Yeah.
But once she said that, my original piece was all together with that intro.
Okay.
And then I was like, that's a little harsh. I don't want to really say that. So I'm going to just leave that. And I'm going to start here, and then maybe I'll come here.
Yeah.
Once she said that, I was like, she's getting the she's getting the original. Yeah, getting it.
Boom.
Because it was just so much, you know what I mean? I wanted to really make it like not even a question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You definitely did that.
Yeah.
They actually went back and debated. I was like, at least, like, they were back there. I'm like, what are they doing?
I mean,
When you said you were Puerto
they
Rican,
going
you've
over
been
my
eating
lines?
beans your whole life.
Yeah.
Huh?
I lost it.
Yeah. What'd you think about Chance's reaction to that line when you said I'm Puerto Rican, I've been eating beans my whole life, and he almost fell over?
It's crazy because I was in a zone. I didn't even know he fell.
Right, but you've seen the video, I'm sure.
When I watched it back, and
yeah,
it was like it came out on Netflix. I was like, "Yo, I made him like
you made him like faint."
Like, yeah,
that shit
like,
was crazy.
That's a dope. That's a dope moment in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
I'm rapping and
like that clip of Chance like pretend fainting could be like a meme or something or like a GIF.
No, it is. It's a GIF for sure.
It is.
Sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That was
crazy.
my reaction too. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's crazy, man.
But yeah, like that opening line where you just said fuck her and everybody in this competition. I was like, because I know you don't swear in your music, so I was like, oh shit. I was like, he's mad.
I was mad, man. I was really mad.
Don't talk about the kids. Can't talk about the kids.
Man.
Right.
It was personal for me that day, and then like she said it, and like I looked at her and I was like, did you just say that? Like, and it just reminded me like that my kids were gonna watch this. And then, like, I like pictured myself, like, if I go out like this and she beats me on that line, like, that's going to be embarrassing.
Right.
And I was just like, nah, it's not happening.
Yeah, you ain't losing now.
Yeah, it was no way. It was no way. Just no way. There was no way.
Hell yeah.
So are you a sports fan at all?
Absolutely, man. I'm dying without the NBA, bro.
Yeah. No, it's been tough.
Did you watch the horse competition?
What horse competition?
I watched some of that last night. It was so bad. On ESPN, they're having this horse competition. Like players are just shooting it from their house, their own home courts.
What?
And
yeah, Pierce was there. He had his kid running around the court.
Paul Pierce looked terrible, and that's my guy.
Is he live?
Yeah, it was live. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say they could just do retakes until they make it.
No, he was live out in his backyard in LA, and he looked bad, man. He hasn't played in a few years, but
he's saying it was.
And they had him going against Zach LaVine, who's like 25, most athletic guy in the league. Like it wasn't
jumping
even fair.
from the foul line.
Right. They didn't let him dunk though. They're like, you can't dunk. It's not gonna be fair. So.
Oh man, that's crazy. I just don't know what it's gonna be like after. Like I just really I'm hoping for the best, but this whole like social distancing thing is it's crazy because it's like, you know, when can we go back to sporting events or concerts?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
When is it safe? You know what I'm saying? We never know.
When that stuff finally comes back, it's gonna be so like emotional, I feel like, for everybody. You know, it's like we're finally back here, like enjoying the things that we enjoy, you know.
You know what though? We took it for granted for so long.
We did.
For real.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I think Mother Nature's really just needs a break, bro. We were fucking this planet up so much.
Right.
I think it really needs a break. Like it's crazy, like, you know.
I mean,
it's kind of scary, like with all the locusts and shit, like eating up all the crops in Africa and all this shit happening with the virus and the volcanoes erupting. The earth is pissed the fuck off.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It's biblical. Yeah, it is pretty.
The earth has every right to be pissed off.
Yeah,
I mean, even like here, like that fucking storm we had today. That was like a crazy ass storm. Like it was small.
You know,
the wind today was nuts.
It just reminds us that we're guests, man.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we're guests.
True, and we definitely forget that sometimes.
Yeah,
or a lot of people do. You know,
I do.
We all do. I feel like we all do. Yeah. So this is, in a way, kind of been a good reminder for us, you know, just to kind of take a step back and
we're not the all end all, you know. Like if we leave this planet will be fine, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
the planet will still go.
It'll be even better. You know, it's better without
cars. You know, all them cars fucking up the ozone.
I said that to my girl. I go, it's better without us. She goes, reminds me of somebody I know. I'm like, oh yeah, all right, we'll see. We'll see if we're talking that tune later, baby.
Right. So you grew up in Providence, so you're not far from Foxborough. So you a Pats fan?
Absolutely. I'm now a Tampa Bay.
You're a
Buccaneers
Tampa
fan.
Bay fan now?
Yeah, I'm a Tampa
Okay.
Bay fan now.
What are your thoughts on Brady
for
leaving?
the next 2 years? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I've always been a Patriot fan. Ever since I was a kid. I remember when Bledsoe led the Patriots to the Super Bowl, and then we got beat. And I used to tell everybody, at least we got there. I remember I had to wear my Patriots jacket. Shout out to my mom for making me wear the Patriots jacket the day after the Super Bowl, so everybody and their mother can just tell me that we lost to the Packers. So
builds character.
I was like 5. I didn't even know better.
Right.
She's like, just tell them at least you made it, baby. That's all you gotta do. Keep telling them at least you made it. But I've been a Pats fan my whole life. I'm very disappointed. Tom, I wanted him to finish his career in New England, man. It's just been an amazing legacy and amazing privilege to be alive in a time where
absolutely
our New England teams. I didn't realize it, like when I started seeing like the Cleveland shit, people die without ever seeing their team win a fucking championship.
Right. No, we're spoiled,
I'm over here like, 6 Super Bowls with Tom.
Right.
Celtics won. You know what I mean? It's
you're like, give me another one. Like, I'm not satisfied.
He could have won.
Right.
It's like, I just appreciate what he did for us and the legacy
absolutely.
that he did. Man, he gave us some incredible times and moments to share. I mean, everything, man. And I just wish he would have ended it in New England. Honestly, he still got some in the tank. I don't know why the Pats would even consider letting him go. It just goes to show you where loyalty is in this type of world, man.
Yeah.
Like you really got to look out for yourself. And that goes to show you, even like with me, like I say, with the labels, with agents and sports and players, like you got to look out for yourself because we're just products, man. You know what I mean? That's at the end of the day, that's all we are to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Sports, music, anything, whatever business you're in, it's all competition. So
we can all be, as they say, we can all be replaced.
Right.
Unfortunately, not to say that in a good way, but like at one of my old jobs, they used to say, "Well, you're just a number,"
Yeah.
Obviously, other places are different. Some places you get treated better, but like at the end of the day, if someone else can do the job better than you can, you bound to get replaced. So
that's another thing about Brady. I think like his legacy. We love him because he won so much, obviously, but the example that he set, like as far as his work ethic, like he went into practice every day, like he was going to lose his job.
No scandals. No scandals. Off the field.
True.
Incidents. He represented the NFL the best way ever.
The best way he could.
He's contributed to so much.
Right.
I think the decision was more for him and his family, his TB12 brand.
Absolutely. And he hasn't, I think the beef between him and Belichick is like overstated a little bit, but I do think that it came to a point where Belichick doesn't let you live your best life. Basically.
I don't think it's overstated because I think Belichick is very unappreciative of Brady.
I do.
Belichick, what he does best, and I know if you're a Pats fan and you know the history of us, we do not pay players. We take B-level guys and we make them A-level status in from playing with us. They make names, and then we don't want to pay them. We let them go somewhere else. We did it with Lawyer Malloy. We did it with Ty Law. We did it with Asante Samuel.
So many players.
So many people.
Logan
Even the guy that caught the interception for us.
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler
benched him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because Belichick was mad. You know what
that
I mean?
was fucked up. That's the one thing in Belichick's career that I will not forgive him for.
Never forgive him for benching Malcolm Butler ever.
Nope.
But he has that, and we have a nice, decent rookie quarterback. He's mad about the what's the quarterback we let go over there?
Oh, Garoppolo, Jimmy G.
With Jimmy G, he's mad. He wanted to keep Jimmy G and start transitioning Jimmy G. He's got a lot of pride, and his I think his unappreciation for Tom. I think if he would have just called and maybe swallowed his pride a little bit, Tom would still be a Patriot. But because he didn't bend over and say, he's literally telling, "Oh, well, we can't pay you any more than we're paying you." That's what you say to somebody who's brought us 6 rings, who's gave us so many years of greatness. It's just it's disappointing, man. You know?
Belichick's staple was always like, treating everyone the same, no matter who you are. But it gets to a certain point when you're Tom Brady. When you've won 6 championships for the organization, who had no championships before he got there. It's like he's not the same as the rest of the guys.
What do you think about us letting go of Antonio Brown?
I mean, he's a mess. Antonio Brown.
He's a mess because obviously he digs himself into a deeper hole. But don't you think it was a coincidence that he signed with the Patriots and those allegations popped up out of nowhere, out of left field from years ago, and then all of a sudden
that was weird,
dropped? Because allegations are allegations. He wasn't proven. I feel like it's always circumstantial. Like, okay, Ray Lewis was accused of murder, went to trial, got acquitted. They let him back in the NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
This dude hasn't been.
And then he was worshipped. He was a superstar.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
I guess
you know what I mean.
You seem to be alluding to that. Maybe maybe the Patriots wanted him out. Is that like had they maybe dug that information up? It seems like from a PR perspective, you can't. If you're the team who owns him, you can't really keep him if that's what's going on. So I can see how maybe from a PR perspective, they asked a friend.
Somebody
of a friend
didn't
to
want
maybe
him
dig
there.
something up.
Somebody didn't want him there, and they was like, "We need a reason to let him go."
We would have won the Super Bowl with him, but
I think we definitely
is what it is.
Dude,
we needed one receiver.
Yeah.
That's all you needed. One receiver.
One.
Because nobody was catching shit all year, and then they want to say time was diminishing. No, we had nobody, bro.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Our boy Edelman led the league in drops this year. I mean, it wasn't really looking that good.
Right.
Yep.
You know?
I don't know. It's hard to.
I can't picture him being a Buccaneer though. I don't even know what's
No, see, that surprises me because I thought Giselle would want to go somewhere that was like, somewhere like L.A. or New York or something.
Yeah, I would have went to Tennessee.
Yeah.
With what's his name? Vrabel? Is it no?
Vrabel.
Yeah,
Vrabel.
Yep. I went to Tennessee with Vrabel. Henry in the backfield. It's a wrap. Let's go.
But no, he's got some good receivers though. He's got some good receivers in Tampa.
Give me that one receiver, Henry in the background, Vrabel as coach. That play action is working every time.
Right.
Yeah. And that defense is good.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
No, it's gonna be fun though to watch him in Tampa.
Hey, you know what? This rookie comes in, or they get somebody else. They draft a nice quarterback. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
And maybe he proves us wrong. Maybe another quarterback comes and start playing like Tom Kid. We ain't even gonna question Belichick.
That's the thing. If Stidham comes out here and leads us to 13-3 or something,
I'm like, let's go, Eastman. Let's go.
5'6" standing in the pocket. I can't even see over the offensive line.
Can't see over the line.
But I'm dipping and dunking.
Oh man.
I'll be like Bobby Boucher.
That's it, bro.
My mama told me I was nice.
Oh man. That's crazy.
I was just kind of saying, like, we had Edelman last year, but we didn't have any tight ends and nothing. Like, all we literally needed was,
in the 20 years where Brady was quarterback, we never had a worse tight end situation. Like, we always had somebody, whether it was Daniel Graham, Ben Watson, somebody. Last year we had
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez.
What in the old line?
Aaron Hernandez was nice for us, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. I mean, going back,
him and Gronk on side to side, man, it was over.
That was ridiculous.
It was
best tight end combo ever, really.
Ever, yeah.
Yeah,
Ever,
but
man.
he had to go and fuck everything
the Hernandez
up.
PR nightmare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Nightmare.
That shit.
he didn't live out near you in Rhode Island, did he?
No, he was in Connecticut.
Close.
He's from Connecticut.
He lived in Barrington.
Oh, but he lived in
He
lived in Attleboro, right?
Attleboro,
Which is right near Rhode Island. Yeah,
right near Rhode Island, bro. It's like I can get there in about 16 minutes.
He used to party in Providence a lot, I think.
Too much.
Too much.
Him and Lamar Odom need to leave Providence, bro.
Yeah, right. Lamar Odom used to party in Providence?
Used to?
He does?
Still does?
He does? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people from New York still come down here to party, man.
A lot of people from Boston. A lot of people from Boston go to Providence to party because it's
like a small New York. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I went to when I started doing my press runs, like Who Kid, everybody. The minute I said Rhode Island, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Rhode Island, yeah, Rhode Island popping over there, yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, yeah." Mm-hmm. They come here to escape because it's a smaller New York. We got the chicks over here. You know what I mean? It's not too far.
So how does it feel to be like kind of the biggest name out of Rhode Island, hip hop wise? I mean, you got Epic Beardmen, the Sage Francis and what's his name? B. Dolan. They're pretty big, but as far as like Rhode Island goes, you kind of got the state on lock.
Yeah, man. I've always felt that way though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like I don't like to say I got to stay down lock. I feel like I've represented to the best of my ability, and I've taken it. I've taken it places that a lot of people haven't.
Yeah.
And I think that I think that's a great accomplishment. You know, I hope somebody even takes it even further. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just really taking it one day at a time and representing my city. And like I used to have a real like disdain about like not getting the support at home, and I used to really be bitter about it. And like I realized that, you know, we're the smallest state in the country, so like I can't expect to get more support like here than LA because LA's so big.
At a certain point, you just max out on support.
You're like, how come Rhode Island ain't the top of the list?
Right.
We're also the smallest state, so let's just keep that into consideration. Like,
you
know, 50 of us, you know what I mean? Like, that's why it's 50 streams, you know? Like, it's just like, you're like, okay, don't take it so personal, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel really great. I mean, I was blessed to get the key to the city. I got the key to the city.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
We've been doing a lot of school work in the schools, and that's another reason why too advocating on my non-cursing is being able to work with the schools with the music. Like my song "Landed of Free," we've been able to take that. We've been working with a nonprofit organization. Yeah, thank you.
Great song, great video.
We work with a nonprofit organization called Purse Learning, and what we're doing is we're taking music and we're adding it to the curriculum of school. So like right now, for the topic of some of the kids are learning, they're learning immigration policies. So we brought in Landed of Free and played the video. I went in there, we had a discussion, open discussion with the students about immigration policy, and they learned so much more by watching the video, opening those questions, that dialogue up. And we're making actual music now to put into the classrooms. It's fucking crazy, but it's working.
Awesome.
And like that's something that we're really advocating for now. And just, you know, everything that we're doing for the city and what we plan for the city in the future, I just really am appreciative to be the one representing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You're doing it well too.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that Land of the Free video, that was it's a pretty powerful video. And the song itself too. What made you want to speak on that topic?
Well, it actually was interesting because when I saw the story, I saw that the man drowned in the Rio Grande with his 3-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just had a son, so I knew that I felt the relation of like seeing the baby like drown in the water with him. It was really a heartbreaking image. And then when I seen the guy's name, I had the same exact name as the guy.
Oh wow!
So I was like, wow, like I have a baby. This guy has my name. We were similar in age, and I was like, man, what's really the difference between me and this guy? Like we have the same name. We're both Spanish. We both had babies. The only difference is I'm from America.
Yeah,
that's it. That could be me swimming to try to make a better life for my kid.
Right.
So I went down to the studio. I started doing research on like where he was from, what he's trying to escape, why he was, you know what I mean? Trying to find more about the story and shit. And then I was able to find an article where they interviewed his family and they were able to give some backstory. And the girlfriend that was actually traveling with him made it back alive. So she was able to tell the testimony of their journey. So then I was able to take that information, dive myself into that character, and then kind of speak from him and take over his body, so to speak, in the video and be him in the song and kind of just give a different perspective of the average American that doesn't see why some people are coming or risking their lives, risking their kids' lives to come across the border. It's not, I don't get political on what you should believe, but I like to show both sides of the fence. So it was just a different perspective of the other side of the wall, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure it opened a lot of eyes because it definitely gave that unique perspective.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It's one of my most powerful records, and I'm really grateful that we could take music and and do stuff like that, especially with the schools too.
Right, absolutely.
Definitely.
I mean, and going off of that, and how we were talking about "Take Me Away" earlier, the storytelling aspect. You've always had a great not like a niche or anything, but you've always been able to really dial in on. I don't want to say putting yourself in those characters, but kind of. You know?
There's some acting involved in there too. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
I mean, hey, you could write a book, dude. You could be a New York Times bestseller.
Nah, for real, man. For real, for real. I don't know if you guys ever heard the Angel series. Have you ever heard the Angel series?
I don't think so.
I remember I heard you did
When
some
you get a
videos for 'em,
chance,
right?
when you get a chance, check it out. It's 3 records.
Yeah.
It's off my 24/7 album. They're the last 3 songs.
Oh,
It's
off the
actually-
24/7 album?
Yeah.
Okay, I know. Yeah.
Three-part story.
Yeah.
Angel 1, Angel 2, Angel 3. It's the same story told from 3 different perspectives. We actually have the mini movie dropping when this is all over, but I didn't want to drop it while everybody was in quarantine. I know that people might think that dropping new content during quarantine is good. For me, I'm holding this particular thing for when the summertime hits and everybody's able to move around for particular reasons. But this mini movie is incredible. It's going to be interactive, and it's based off of the Angel series. So if you don't know them 3 songs, man, check them out.
Word.
Angel 1, Angel 2, Angel 3. Crazy, man. Crazy.
Word.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
video?
all storytelling.
That video being shot by Red Eye?
This mini movie in particular is being shot by a production company that I can't name just yet. But Red Eye's got a hand in on it, helping with the production stuff. It's just a much bigger project than what we would have.
Dope.
So who are your favorite storytelling rappers?
Ooh, DMX.
Okay.
Man, I remember being like 9 and like listening to DMX tell stories in like The Professional and ATF. And like the way he used to run from the cops and just be telling so much detail in everything he said that I felt like I was dead. You know what I mean? Those detailed things really stuck with me and taking the listener through a ride. Nas, Rewind. When I first heard Rewind and he told the story backwards from end to
that
beginning,
shit's crazy. Yeah.
It was such an eye opener. Like, yo, this art can go anywhere. Like you could really get crazy with it. So, you know, I really took that into perspective, and pretty much really it was just them. Biggie had a couple story records, but I wasn't a big Biggie fan when I was a kid, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I was listening to a lot of DMX, man. A lot of DMX, a lot of Jay-Z.
Okay.
And
a lot of New York
like,
hip hop.
Yeah, I had to listen to fucking Shania Twain and shit because my sister was next door, bumping all type of music. But check it out, like she would bump Shania, like she was just weird, right? So she would bump like Shania Twain for a straight week, and then bump like Celine Dion, and then bump Selena, and then bump like TLC. But what it did was, without me realizing, is it made me so musically inclined because I was listening to so many different types of music from her that while I was playing my stuff, then I would be listening to her play her stuff, that I ended up learning so much different type, which is why I could make so much different type of music. And I credit that to my sister playing all the dumb shit she was playing when we were kids.
Right.
Hell yeah. All those different influences coming in.
Yeah, it all came into play later on in life. You know.
So what have you been listening to? What have you been listening to lately?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I can't listen to music when I'm creating.
So you just listen to yourself?
No, I don't even listen to myself. I haven't if I'm playing music, it's a beat that I'm like writing to. Now I'm in creative mode. So a lot of people don't know, but like if you're listening to music and then you come in the studio, if you're a creator, I could say something I heard
and not even realize it.
And not realize it.
Right.
It's not like my intention.
Right.
But an idea, a topic, it could be so many different things that you get influenced by. So when I'm in creative mode, I try to stay away from the music. And if I am playing music, normally it's the music I'm working on, or like, you know what I mean? And obviously, like, I'm not saying I don't hear any, like, you know what I mean? But like the last thing I think I heard was maybe like the Drake Slide song because of the challenges that's on.
Yeah, it's been all over the place.
Yeah, so I'm hearing that hook, you know. But see, like I'll try to like stay away from that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard other artists say the same thing. It's easy to fall into being redundant if you're only listening to your own stuff, because you can kind of fall into that style because like you're thinking this sounds like me. But then on the other hand, if you sound like whoever's popping right now, everyone kind of knows that's what you're going for.
Right.
And plenty of people do well emulating it. But someone like you're deep into your career. That's not something, and it's
I like my music to have an identity. Like I hear a few artists, right? Like that sound almost identical to like a big artist that's out.
Right.
And I can't hear the identity of that particular artist. It just sounds like an unreleased, Kendrick song or unreleased this song. So it's like I don't know, if there's an identity there. So I love the fact that, I mean, some people I'm not, and please excuse me if I'm wrong here. I don't know. You might feel different, but it really pisses me off when people compare me to cannabis. Like it really pisses
Cannabis?
me off. Yeah, it pisses me off.
I never even would have thought of that comparison, honestly.
It's crazy. Like some people, like when I did the BET cyber, people were like, "Oh my god, it reminds me of cannabis." I'm like, "Are you fucking nuts?" Like it just made me so mad because of the craft. Like I make so much different type of music. I'm like,
it makes me mad when I show people dope rappers and they just compare them to Eminem right away, and I'm just like, yo, there's a million other rappers in the world, and that's the person you think of every time.
That's why the Drake comparison from Chance, I was just like, thank God he didn't say like
Eminem.
Eminem, or you know what I mean? Even Eminem, like I can see the comparison because of storytelling and maybe like passion.
But I feel like the Eminem comparison has kind of like become a lazy comparison.
But I'm also 65-35 women.
Yeah.
Like my demographic right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm 65-35 women, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you are like Drake then.
Eminem's not 65-35 women.
No.
Is that by design, or have you found that's just kind of how it happened?
Is that since the show, do you think? Or was that before that?
Yeah, since the show.
Since the show, yeah. Okay.
Before it was like, I would say like, it was flip-flop. Yeah, it was 65-35 male.
Wow.
And then Cardi started calling me Puerto Rican Papi, and the Janae shit hit.
That's crazy.
Boom. There it is.
That's crazy.
Cardi's setting all the trends right now.
That's why, like, if you notice, I did a real mix to J. Cole Dreamville Down Bad, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like I started realizing, I started like even dissecting when I noticed the demographic. I'm like, I can be lyrical without being so aggressive, because my aggression can turn people off sometimes. You know what I mean? Especially females that are here to just look at me rap. They don't give a fuck what I say, right? They're looking at me rap. So if I'm saying hot bars and I'm looking good while I'm doing it, I can get both worlds. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, it's a balance of trying to figure out still, as I'm growing as a business, what works. You know what I mean? Knowing that I'm a lyrical rapper and I have 65% females following me now and buying my music. So what do? You know what I mean? Okay, I can highlight some of my older music, that's for them. I can do this, I can do that because I'm a unicorn and I can do all type of different music. Right. It doesn't bother me that it's 65-35 because I have content for that as well. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about keeping that balance, It's not easy, man, to try to figure it out every fucking day.
Yeah.
It's
You're doing a good job with it, though.
Yeah, you're doing a very good job with it, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Well, hey,
it's definitely a full-time job, man, for sure.
Absolutely.
I know we've been trying to keep it professional on here, and I'm going to sound wicked unprofessional right now.
What are you going to say?
Well, you guys know my laptop situation. Flaw, you don't, but my laptop don't work. And so I am about to die right here on my phone. Not physically.
I was just gonna say we could wrap this thing up anytime. We're like 2 hours
definitely.
in right
I gotta step out anyway. So that
I didn't realize how long it had been, but
I know.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2 hours.
It happens.
That's all right. That's what's up. I appreciate you guys having me, man.
Yeah, man.
Course.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Thank you for coming on.
Definitely.
You're a busy guy. You're a family man, so definitely appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Definitely, man. And I think we should definitely plan some stuff for the future, man, for the city. Let's try to work together.
Absolutely.
And try to make some stuff happen, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Let's do it.
All right,
I'm all in.
Sure.
All right,
awesome,
man.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for having me, and send me a copy of this so I can post it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for coming on.
For sure, brother. You stay safe. You and the family stay safe. Keep up the good
All right,
work.
you too, guys. Thanks so much, man.
All right.
Oh yeah, peace, brother.
Much love.